Okay, sorry, thumbnail is clearly clickbait. This is like the real transformation, how my before and after looks. Every nose contour video starts off with just like drawing off 2 lines on your nose, and then you wait for a while, you blend it out, and then you're done. I have something similar as well, but I think I found something that I haven't seen anyone talk about. Something I discovered, I found out. I'm amazing. So again, this is about how I contour my bulbous nose. If you don't know what a bulbous nose is, it's kind of like really round ball shape. There are so many nose shapes or different noses. Big nose, small nose, cow nose, big hole nose, small hole nose, nosy, noses, Moses. So you get the point. My nose is a bulbous nose. So everyone knows the basic, draw your 2 lines, cut your nose on top. Everyone thinks that makes your nose slimmer. I found out that for bulbous nose, doing that makes your nose actually 7 times bigger. Take a contour powder. This is exactly what I see people do. And then to also cut like this. I'm just making it really harsh so you can tell. This is what I see a lot of people do, and I used to do the same thing. I follow these rules because everyone used to do this. Apparently that's gonna like make your nose look smaller or whatever. A lot of shading on the side because people will be like, that would like cinch in your nose and make your nose bridge look really skinny. I followed this, right? And I used to take this highlighter palette. Let's just use a highlighter, and then you do that to your nose and then on your bridge as well. So this is what I used to do, and am I crazy? But this made my nose so much more bigger, way wider, and I feel like it's the main focus of my face. And then what I see is I see a lot of people put it under. This is like the #1 tip that I've seen people do. See, obviously I'm using a dark powder so you guys can tell, like, you know, what's going on. Okay, so now when I look at myself in the mirror, I personally feel like it made my nose so much more bigger. The bulbous tip, this is skinny for me, everything is fine, but like this tip is like really big and this part more rounder. So I'm just gonna hide this messed up part. So just ignore my nose now, it looks a bit off, but it's gonna blend in later on. The tip that I found out is that, guys, you're not supposed to put contour or bronzer on the like under part of your nose, because I feel like that makes your tip 7 times bigger. I'm just gonna contour my cheeks and leave it unblended so you can understand. You can see when I contour the bottom, the top part pops out even more. Pick up some highlighter now, and then I smile, and then I pop it where my cheeks are. Like I just drag it in. Both sides, we have the same cheeks, same cheekbones. Things look so much more like happier, more poppy, and that's because I have this highlighter on top, and underneath the contour is like lifting my cheeks and even more higher than it is. So what I found out with bulbous nose tips, honestly, don't contour your bottom part of the nose, because when you do that, your nose becomes 7 times bigger. And then on top of that, put the highlighter on top, and then you're like, oh, that's it, my nose is small now. And then you're cutting your nose or whatever, and the highlight is the worst thing that people do. I see people do this. Makes your nose so much more prominent, just like you've made your cheeks prominent. Do you understand my point? So you need to understand that when you have dark at the bottom, highlight on the top, it makes the highlighter portion pop. Same thing if you apply it here, the same rule on your nose, where you have like dark stuff on the bottom of the nose tip, and then you highlight this region thinking it's gonna make your nose look smaller or whatever. It's making your cheeks pop and your nose pop. So who's the biggest idiot? You, my friends. Actually, me too. I was doing it for a while. All of us. We're all idiots. It's fine. We're learning. And that's what I learned. So I thought of like making a whole video and like talking about it. So now I'm just gonna fix my contour. The next thing I want to show you is applying foundation, concealer, whatever, as the same color as this area, like all over your nose. Leave it uncontoured and you're okay. There's some shiny situation going on here, so that kind of focuses like the bulbous tip of my nose. So then I take my Airspun powder, and this is just like a matte powder, and I just pat it all over my nose. Look at my nose right now. No one's paying attention to my nose. My nose kind of blends in with my face, and that is another way to just hide your nose. Like the secret to hide your nose is just blend it with the same concealer foundation. I feel like it's kind of invisible. No one's like paying attention to it. And what happens with the bulbous tip is that we have that fucking reflection on the tip of our nose. So everyone's just like looking at that instead of your tits and your face, which is way more important than your personality. The main problem with the bulbous tip nose is that shiny thing that I really hate. I hate it on my face. So right now I feel like my nose is kind of blended with my face, and you're looking at me, my tits, that's all that matters. So I hope that makes sense. I still do like to apply highlighter, just a teensy tiny bit on the tip of my nose. Doing this much is honestly enough. Like, I like that, that's enough. But when you go a bit crazy, it defeats the purpose of contouring your nose. So now I'm gonna show you how I contour my nose for a bulbous tip. So I got this brush from Sigma. It's called the P87 Ed Precision brush. This is called Bronzer Matte in Deep Tan. Favorite bronzer. This is how it looks. Like, can you see that? This is the weird triangle shaped angle, which is really good for contouring your nose. Number one is is you always want to contour the crap out of this region of your eye socket, whatever the hell you want to call it. So you're starting to slim your nose from the part from here all the way to here. Don't ever contour your nose from here to here. That's just no. It's gonna look a bit funny and odd because you just have like 2 brown lines on the middle of your face when it's not supposed to be that way. A natural shadow starts from here, like actually from here to be honest. So you want to do your shadow whatever, bring contour all the way down to your nose here. So I use the skinny part of the brush. The bulbous tip starts from here, so I can take this and then I just press it in like that. I'm making it really harsh so you guys can see. Obviously I'm gonna walk out looking like this. Once I'm done with that, I take my fingers and I just blend it in. Some more bronzer, and I kind of cut the part of my nose here, and then I like to take some white powder and then just put it on this edge just to like bake for a bit. And yeah, that's the end of how I contour my nose. Honestly, doing nothing to my nose makes my nose so much more smaller and skinnier in my opinion. I take some highlighter from the Nicole palette and maybe just draw like a skinny line, like that skinny. I personally feel like I did such a good job. I can tell a difference, to be honest. It's such a small minute detail. It does transform your nose, and I know someone's gonna watch this and be like, bitch, I don't even see a difference. If anyone does have like a bulbous tip and they're like struggling to contour their nose and it's not working out, hopefully you picked up on these 3 tips. I'm a really bad explainer. Hopefully it helped you out. I tried my best. Tip number 1, just honestly leave your nose as it is. Don't contour. Apply some foundation or concealer that kind of blends into your face, makes your nose invisible and like hides your nose overall. Step number 2, if you still want to contour, whatever happens, do not contour under your nose because that's going to make things so much worse and make your nose look even more bulbouser. Number 3, the secret is to honestly join your eyebrow bone all the way, bring it to your nose bridge with some bronzer powder. Just don't use a contour powder that's cool tone and ugly. Bring it in, cut your tip, mattify the tip of your nose. Do not use highlighter. And yeah, here you can see side by side we have contouring at the bottom. I would never recommend anyone doing this if you have a bulbous nose tip. As you clearly can tell, a huge difference. I hate the shiny part. So when you mattify it like here, you can tell it's so much better than applying highlighter. My nose is flat or whatever, but no attention. Third one is my absolute favorite, where I did contour my nose, add a little bit of shiny, and I think it's amazing. So yeah, I thought of just sharing the tip, you guys. But yeah, follow me on my Instagram. It's at Anncy Twinkle, and thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I hope to see you in my next video.